Today I'm going to be going over how to set up a skydome for your game in kind of a different way. So we're going to be using a little setting in the Blender game engine which allows us to put it behind it, and behind all the objects even though it's in front of them. And the reason we want to do this is instead of having it on another layer and then both cameras have to be synced up with rotation and stuff, and then you have to put it as a background layer, you can just have it on the same layer but it'll be behind everything. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial and you'll see what I'm talking about. You can go ahead and download this starter blend if you like. It's not necessary. You can apply this to any games you like, but if you want to follow along exactly with this tutorial, you can go ahead and download that from my website. There'll be a link in the description. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to go ahead and add a sphere here. We're going to chop it in half, then we're going to apply our texture to it, and then I'm going to mirror it. Now you could just unwrap the whole sphere and do it that way, but because I'm lazy and I want to make it easy for everyone following this tutorial, we're going to be doing half a sphere. But if you want to go more advanced, unwrap it, all this stuff, it should be fine. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. So what we're going to go ahead and do is add a sphere, and this is going to be a UV sphere. I'm going to go into the front view and orthographic, and I'm going to go ahead into edit mode and into wireframe and just select all of this with B, select it, X delete, vertices, and you can see we have half a sphere here now. Now if you want to see how to make like a basic sky texture, at the end of this tutorial I'm going to have another little mini tutorial on how to create the sky texture, or you can just go ahead and download it on my website right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and get moving. So I'm going to go back into textured mode. I'm going to click 5. That's just got me out of orthographic mode. And I'm going to go ahead and click shading smooth. And I'm going to select all of these as well in edit mode using A to select all of them. I'm going to go to shading and UVs, flip direction. So what this means is all of the normals are pointing inwards. So if I go ahead and press play, hovering over the viewport and pressing P, what you'll see is now that only the faces that are pointing in you can see, and the rest you just kind of see through the back of them. That's why you see those. So that's exactly what we want. So if we go into the camera view, you can see, yep, we can see it. Looks great. Alright, so let's go ahead and apply a texture to it. So I'm going to change this from the text editor to the UV image editor. And I'm going to go ahead and open an image. So I have opened up the sky image. Now, if you want to use a more advanced one, go ahead, do whatever you like. This is the basic one for the tutorial, and you'll be able to see how to make that in the end if you want to make a quick basic one like this as well. But for now we're just going to use this. Anyway, what we're going to go ahead and do is come up over here to the material panel. We're going to create a new material by clicking the plus. I'm going to get rid of specular. I'm going to make the shadeless, and I'm going to call it sky because might as well. Alright. And we're going to come over here to the texture panel. We're going to create a new texture. We're going to come down here and select sky image PNG from the list. Now what you see here is it's just one color. So we're going to click U, unwrap. We're going to go tab, U, unwrap. And so what this has done is tab's taken us into edit mode, then I've just gone U and then I've unwrapped it, and that's just automatically unwrapped it. And since it's a half sphere, it unwraps perfectly for our sky. So I just scaled this down as well. So I just select that all with A, yes, scaled it down so it's not quite on the edges. So there we go. That is our sky pretty much done. So if we go into here and we look around, as you can see right now with our sky, you can look around. It looks pretty good. I mean, if you had a better texture, it'd look even better. But there's two problems right now. First of all, it's in front of our all our geometry, all of our props that we want to be normally there. So that's the first problem. And if we walk, it stays there, which we do not want. We want it to kind of follow us around and just look like the sky. So the way we can do this is we can go ahead and come here to our sky, and we're going to come down until we find transparency. We're going to make this bigger, I believe. No, sorry, we don't need transparency. We're going to come to options. Now, this is a neat little thing I learned from Red Frost Gaming. He makes blended game engine tutorials as well. He used it for X-ray, so if you change this X up to like something like 20, what it will do is, or higher I think, let's check. Oh, I guess this doesn't have any gravity, but basically you can see stuff behind, in front of stuff, so it's like X-ray, right? But I thought, we could use that for sky. So if you go like something like minus, let's go 4,000. What you should see is, look, it's behind the sky, and as you can see, we've got that little problem, and the reason for that is we just need to go ahead and change this up a bit higher. So just add a couple more zeros, and as you can see, there's no problems there. But as you can see, what is this problem? Well, that's because it's not moving with our camera. So the way we can go ahead and fix that is you've got to get your object, and you're going to go ahead and get all the vertices of the basic mesh. You're going to duplicate it, Alt-M, Alt-C, and put that to the center. So you want this at the center of the mesh. Then you're going to select your skydome. You're going to select your mesh. You're going to select that vertice, and you're going to go Control P, make vertex parent. Now, if we rotate this, you can see nothing happens, but if we move it, something does happen. So that's why you want to vertex parent it, so only it moves with the position, not the rotation. Alright, so if we go into texture mode, go into the camera, and we press play. As you can see, now we can walk around, and look at that. The sky follows, the sky is behind, and you can just do it normally and set up the sky like with, let me think, what am I saying? You can set up the sky so it's on a different layer, and it's on a under layer, I think it's called, like when it's a background layer it's called in Blender, I think. So that's in the background if it's just blank sky. But then you have to do like scripts that keep the rotation of both cameras correct. This isn't the best way, but I think this is a great way if you want a simple way to set up a sky dome. Now here you see we have a problem. What you could go ahead and do is you could create another plane there. Let's say like just fill in the bottom of the sphere and make that black. Or in another case, if you just want to go ahead and be real simple, is you can just leave it empty if the player won't be able to see down there. Or you can just go ahead and add a mirror modifier, change this to X, click that. Now what you'll see is we can come over here and come over to the side, and look at that. It's kind of like this ocean or something, I guess, like a perfect mirror reflection. Now actually in this scene I don't have it set up so you can fall, but it will follow you anywhere. So now you have this beautiful sky all nice and set up. You can do lots of different stuff. I really like this, and I would actually like Red Frost Games. Thanks for that X-ray thing. I kind of just reversed and made this tutorial, so thank you so much for that tip about that, because I didn't know about that, but it's a really cool little setting that you can use in the Blender game engine. So go ahead and use it, people, and I really hope that this helped you create your sky domes. So this is going to be behind stuff. If something's in front of it or behind it that you didn't want to be, just give it a further distance away and that should fix it. But yeah, pretty much there we go. So if you want to see more tutorials like this and tutorials on other subjects, I come out with a new tutorial every single week, so you can go ahead and see those if you go ahead and subscribe. But other than that, have a great week, keep blendering, and create cool games. Alright, so when creating the sky, there's many different ways you can create skies and stuff, but this is the way I create it. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and delete this cube and lamp. So click that. I'm going to go Alt-R, Alt-G with this camera, and I'm going to come up here, change this to a square image. Oh, why can't I grab that? By just copying the Y value and pasting it in the top in the X value. So here, so they're both the same. And once I've done that, I'm going to change this up to full resolution. Sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and get this camera, rotate it up. And I'm going to go with about 5 here on the focus length. So what this is going to do is it's going to make a camera that's square, and it's quite, the focal length is zoomed out quite a lot, so you get most of the sky rendered in, so you'll see in a second. So if I go ahead and change this to cycles, come over here to the world panel and click use nodes, then go sky, and just go ahead and render. And you can see if I go ahead and click and drag over here, move the sun material kind of down, turn this up, get the kind of look I want. So let's put the sun about there, and it looks a bit weird right now, but all you need to go ahead and do is I'm going to turn the strength up maybe as well. Go ahead and render it, so click render, and you're going to go ahead and just wait for that to render. Then you're going to come up to compositing, you're going to click use nodes, you're going to go ahead and grab these, move them across, and I'm going to go ahead and go Shift A, distortion, lens distortion, plug that in the middle, and we're going to go distort by 1, and I'm going to click that. So why isn't this working? Alright, so it just needs to be updated, so that's just why I went fit and then did that. So it updated, and as you can see now it's mapping a bit better, and then you can go save image.